Welcome to this lesson from the IELTS Focus. Together, we're going to build a perfect high-scoring answer for your IELTS speaking test, literally piece by piece. So, let's dive right in. Here's our game plan. First, we'll break down the question itself. Then, I'll give you a super simple 4-part blueprint to structure your answer. After that, we'll build a story together using that blueprint. And finally, we'll power it all up with some seriously impressive vocabulary. Okay. First things first, let's get crystal clear on the task. In Part 2 of the IELTS speaking test, you know the examiner will hand you a topic card, and you need to be ready to speak on it for 1 to 2 minutes. And here it is, the exact prompt. The goal is to talk about this topic nonstop with lots of detail and good structure for up to 2 minutes. Now, I know that can sound like a long time, but trust me, with the right framework, it's way easier than you think. Okay, now let's get to the most important tool we're going to use today. Think of this as the simple framework that will guarantee you cover all the key points and keep your answer flowing logically. It's a real game changer. And here it is. Introduction, acquisition, significance, and feeling. Just 4 parts. This blueprint makes sure your response is super well organized, detailed, and really easy for the examiner to follow. All right, enough talk, let's put this framework into action. We're going to start building our story right now with the first 2 parts, the introduction and the acquisition. You always want to start strong, and a great way to do that is with a template sentence, like this one. We just need to fill in these 2 blanks to make it personal and make it your own. For example, you could say, I'd like to talk about a unique seasonal opportunity that I've been dreaming of for quite a while. See how just choosing a couple of specific, powerful words immediately makes your answers sound way more engaging? Next up, let's be really clear about the type of job. Using a sentence like this shows the examiner that you've paid close attention to that short-term part of the prompt, which is absolutely crucial. For instance, this isn't a long-term career move, but rather a short-term gig that I would love to undertake in a country like Japan. You know, using a natural phrase like short-term gig is excellent high-level vocabulary. And now for the acquisition part of our blueprint. This is where we shift from talking about what the job is to how you'd get it. How would you actually make this happen? The key here is to be specific. Don't just say, I would apply. Go into detail. Something like, to get this job, I would need to apply for a working holiday visa, or I would need to complete a certification. This adds so much credibility to your story. Okay, let's move to the final 2 parts of our blueprint. This is where you add that personal depth and emotional connection that examiners are really looking for. This is where your answer truly comes to life. So now we tackle the significance. You're not just describing the job anymore. You're explaining why it matters to you. For example, I believe this experience would be a total something because it would allow me to do something else. And this is the perfect place to use an impressive idiom. For instance, I believe this experience would be a total feather in my cap because it would allow me to broaden my horizons. That is exactly the kind of language that scores high marks. And finally, we get to the feeling. This template is just perfect for showing a really mature perspective. You're acknowledging the practical side. Yeah, the pay, but you're emphasizing that deeper, more personal value. This template helps you create a really powerful conclusion. I mean, finishing your answer by saying the memories would be priceless or worth their weight in gold, well, that leaves a lasting positive impression on the examiner. So, we've built the structure. Now let's give you a few more high-impact vocabulary items that you can weave into your answer to make it sound truly exceptional. First one up is highly sought after. This is a fantastic way to describe a popular or competitive job. It shows you understand the situation realistically. You could use it just like this when you're talking about that acquisition stage. It adds a nice little layer of detail and some pretty sophisticated vocabulary. We mentioned this one before, and you know what? It's worth repeating. A feather in one's cap is such a wonderful idiom to express personal pride and accomplishment. It sounds very natural and fluent. And here it is in a full sentence. Notice how it connects the achievement, that feather in the cap, directly to the reason, which is the personal growth from stepping out of your comfort zone. And finally, broaden one's horizons. This phrase is perfect for this topic. It just so elegantly captures the core reason why so many of us want to travel and work in another country, for new experiences and new perspectives. So now you have it all. You've got the blueprint, the sentence starters, and the power-up vocabulary. The only question left is, what incredible short-term job will you choose to talk about? It's your turn to build your own fantastic answer.